So here we have a transaction I found in my personal capital account. It's for $10.62 and it's an interest charge. So what happened was I was short an option position on a spread. It was way in the money and it got exercised. And so I ended up buying the stock on margin just by accident for, I think I was busy. I think it caught me a day or so to see it and realize that I was being charged interest. So I quickly reversed it. No big deal. It cost me 10 bucks, but it made me kind of curious. This sort of just reminds me of my checking account in a lot of big banks that just love to give you these little interest charges all the time or whatever kind of small fees. And I don't really like that out of my broker, and I definitely don't think margin is the best route to go. I don't believe in margin borrowing and trading. And so I did a little investigation because I was curious about this. I went onto E-Trade and I looked up the margin rates. The highest one they currently have is 8.95%, basically 9%. So another thing that I didn't like is they're not very forthcoming about what kind of a rate this is. So I got on the phone and I found out that this 8.95% is an APR, an annual rate, but that it doesn't actually say that anywhere here in even in the fine print. So that's 9% a year that it would cost you to borrow a stock and borrow money to establish a stock position. So if we look up the current Duff and Phelps equity risk premium, it should be probably less than that. Right, so we can see that as of March 25th, the Duff and Phelps equity risk premium is 6%. Now that means that if you add the equity risk premium to the risk-free rate, as an investor in the overall stock market, we should expect to earn that return, which is equity risk premium plus risk-free rate. Right now, the risk-free rate is probably less than 1%. So we're supposed to earn about 6.75 or 7% in total from investing in stocks. So if we're going to go to E-Trade and pay them 9% on what we should expect to be something like a 7% return, we are 2% in the hole, just right out of the gate. And that's what the academics, that's what the analysts would expect us to earn on this idea of, oh, I'll go borrow money and establish a position in a stock for a whole year. It's right out of the gate supposed to be a losing proposition. So there's a better way to do it, and I'm going to show that in the next video. Long story short, I know some people may use margin successfully and they might like it. I'm just personally not a fan, and I don't like paying money, especially as high as 9% to borrow money to establish a trade, especially when there's better alternatives that I'm getting ready to talk about.